With the last couple of weeks, I've been speculating a post-credit scene for the Mario movie, maybe hinting at another Mario movie or some other type of spin-off movie, like Donkey Kong or Luigi's Mansion. And in fact, I made entire videos talking about what a Luigi's Mansion and a Donkey Kong movie could be like. But with that said, we might actually have more concrete evidence that there's actually a post-credit scene. We got confirmation from Chris Pratt that states, listen, there's like at the end of the film, there's a post-credit sequence that gives you a taste of what the sequel could be about. And that gets me very, very excited, but there's been talk of Luigi's Mansion. That was a GameCube game. I think that would be great. Then Charlie Dave responds saying, could we ever see a Luigi's Mansion movie materialize? That likely depends on just how big of a hit the Super Mario Bros. Movie is. I guess we'll all find out together on April 5th. And then Seth Rogen speaks up by saying, I can confirm that people keep telling me that they've heard there might be a spin-off Donkey Kong movie, Rogen told IGN. There's been no official confirmation. I think until the movie comes out and people get to see it and say what they say about it, but it's something I would be excited to do. I've had a really good time making the movie. So it seems like the entire cast loved making this movie. Nintendo must have made it extremely fun with Illumination because everybody's so excited for people to see this movie. They really want people to see another movie in the series already and the spin-offs, and it just sounds very exciting. And of course, with Chris Pratt confirming that there is a post-credit scene, we now get to speculate what it's going to be about. Now, according to Chris Pratt, this post-credit scene will focus on the Mario series. It's not going to tease any spin-offs or anything, but he said it's going to be something that could set up for a Super Mario Bros. 2, or whatever they want to do with the sequel. So we have to look at it in the terms of Mario things and kind of back away from Donkey Kong and Luigi's Mansion right now. Where would they take this movie next? Well, based on all the trailers and everything we've seen so far, we pretty much have a good grasp as to who the villains are, who the heroes are, and kind of the main plot, where Bowser's trying to collect Power Stars, going to different kingdoms, and Mario, Peach, and Toad have to stop them by using items as well. And we know the Kongs play a big role by also building carts and allowing everybody to race these carts on Rainbow Road in order to race against Bowser's army and defeat them. So that's kind of the general gist of the movie. I'm sure the plot is going to be very similar to that. Now, with that said, this is kind of like an origin story right now for the Mario brothers. They come from Brooklyn through the pipes, and they end up in the Mushroom Kingdom. Mario in the Mushroom Kingdom, and Luigi in Bowser's Kingdom. But it's very interesting because it is another origin story, which we don't have too many of for Mario, and I just love to see where the bros come from all the time. But with that said, the next movie will probably have to take the adventures somewhere else. Now, I think there's about 3 or 4 options that they could take this next movie, and honestly, with this movie, you can tell that they're using references from past games to throw them into one big new story for the movie. So will there ever be a game-specific movie? Not necessarily, but I think they could use past Mario games as a huge inspiration for that story's plot. For instance, it really feels like a combination between Super Mario Bros. 1, Super Mario 64, and Super Mario Odyssey with this movie, because they're going around different kingdoms, they're collecting Power Stars, literally trying to get the Power Stars back from Bowser that's collecting them, and also you have the fact that this is Mario and Bowser's really first encounter. So with that said, I think the next movie will have a past game as its main base and kind of build a new story off of that. And here's some of my ideas. I think the Koopalings could bring a brand new story kind of referencing all the new Super Mario Bros. Games, Super Mario Bros. 3, and even Super Mario World by just having them appear in the game, having Bowser's flying ships with them, and maybe their own little towers spread across the kingdom, and Mario and gang have to go defeat each one would be really cool, and I could just see them running into the room to help Bowser at the very end of the movie, and then the camera cuts out after we see them. This could bring things like Boom Boom into the mix, and that's obviously speculation for another video, but just seeing the Koopalings would be really cool. That's 7 Koopalings with all different varying personalities that we've seen throughout the Paper Mario series, the Mario & Luigi series, and even the new Super Mario Bros. Series. So seeing them return would be a huge thing, and I know a lot of people got tired of them within the Mario games, but in the movie setting, this would be awesome. I kind of really hope we see them. But I also think seeing Bowser Jr. would be really awesome as well, because maybe he's the one that brings the Koopalings in and says, Dad, I have a whole bunch of friends I want you to meet. They can help us defeat Mario once and for all. Or kind of like a scene at the end of Super Mario Sunshine, where maybe Bowser Jr. walks in a room after his dad is beat up and says, don't worry, we'll get that Mario brother, or whatever, and this kind of ends the movie there. Normally for sequels, people like to see an entirely new world with an entire new cast of characters that join the original cast. So what better way to have a new world than have everybody take a vacation and fly to Isle Delfino? I think that would be so cool. Now of course this could be like the third or fourth movie, it doesn't have to be the sequel directly, but I would love to see Isle Delfino, and obviously the Piantas, the Nokis, and all the different locations, and just maybe turn this into a giant vacation disaster movie, which would just work because it already kind of writes itself. With that said, you also get the introduction of Bowser Jr., which would work so well, and then we get to see Mario go to jail again, this time on the big screen. The locations alone would make this movie so awesome, with Rico Harbor, the rig above the water, and the Pianta Village where everybody lives, not to mention Pina Park, an actual theme park where there could be roller coasters and Mario fighting the giant mecha Bowser. I would love a story based on Sunshine, of course, because it is like one of my favorite games of all time, so I'm a little biased, but yes, I think a Super Mario Sunshine themed movie would be beautiful. Now it seems like Mario, Peach, and Toad will be walking together across different pieces of the Mushroom Kingdom in different lands, but it doesn't really feel like Mario Odyssey per se. Even though we've seen things like Toast Arena in the movie, I still think a Mario Odyssey movie where they actually go around the entire globe in the Odyssey would be a great story, and having the main story be Bowser trying to marry Peach. Now there is a song, I believe, in this movie. There's actually a piece of artwork for the album cover for Bowser that has a heart, so maybe he's like confessing his love to Peach or something, and maybe there is a movie in the future where he's trying to marry Peach as he kidnaps her. Would be actually pretty interesting. I guess the song's name might be Peaches, and I guess Bowser's gonna sing it in some musical number, which we knew was gonna happen. He said that he's gonna have a musical number, but this kind of makes me wonder, is this going to be something that's kind of part of this movie? Because it doesn't seem like Peach gets kidnapped at all in this movie. Rather, if there's big Odyssey references in this movie or not, I would still love to see a proper Odyssey movie where Mario meets Cappy, and maybe that's the post-credit scene where Cappy flies in to help Mario or something, or meets Mario, or bumps into him for some reason. I don't know, or maybe a poster goes up of Bowser getting ready to prepare for this massive wedding on the moon. That would be awesome. I saved the best for last, the obvious one in the room, the one that would make the most sense. Super Mario Sticker Star the movie. No, but seriously, Mario Galaxy just makes too much sense. Obviously, we have a whole Luma in this movie for no reason. Like, no one knows why this Luma is here. It just makes sense that this Luma is going to tie into something Rosalina, something Mario Galaxy. It's going to happen. Now, there could be a case where they actually just have tons of Galaxy references already in this movie. I kind of doubt it, but there is apparently a Gusty Garden theme in this movie someone leaked, so maybe that theme is simply used for the very end of the movie where Rosalina shows up. I feel like they would use the Comet Observatory thing, but you know, to each their own. But I think it'd be awesome to see Rosalina come at the end of the movie and pick up Luma Lee after saying like, I lost one of my Lumas and I'm coming to get it, and then this kind of ties into maybe a potential Super Mario Galaxy movie. It just makes too much sense. And it almost seems like Nintendo likes using Galaxy in future Mario games. They reference it a lot. I mean, we just had Mario Rabbids. The sequel was based on Galaxy and Rosalina and Lumas, or Sparks in that case. But I would love to see them kind of take that approach. I think it would be really cool. There's tons of different planets and galaxies to explore with tons of different new creatures and stuff. Would be really cool, and I think it would make for a great story. Mario going across the galaxy in order to help save Peach and to defeat Bowser once again. I think that would be awesome. So whatever Nintendo decides to do, it's only a week until we find out what this tease is going to be. Now, I'm sure the internet is going to be full of spoilers as we go on for the next couple of days, so you might actually want to just delete Twitter or mute different channels on your social media so that way you stay away from any spoilers. Of course, I will not be posting any spoilers for this movie. However, I will be probably talking about the ending and stuff, but I will not post, obviously, any thumbnails representing any spoilers in that movie. I'll just be kind of talking about it with you guys, so that way after you watch it, you can come to the video. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm super excited for this. We are almost there, guys, and for our excitement, I'm going to be posting tons of Mario movie videos leading up just to get us hyped for this thing, because it is so exciting that we're finally getting a Mario movie. It feels like a game reveal. It feels like we're waiting for a giant game reveal, and I cannot wait. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Nintendo, and I'll see you all on the next one. See you guys.